What do you say to those that follow you or that engage with you that are looking to open themselves up a little more? What do you think is sort of one of your first steps?
I want to say fearlessness, but that's not the word. I always say that what comes across from me as fearlessness is really just a high dose of bravery. You know, like it's like a lot of people are afraid to explore themselves, explore beyond what they already know, just due to fear. And when they see someone doing things and when they see someone expanding and opening up to new ideas and expanding their universe and their world, a lot of people based off of their own fear can look at a person like that and think, well, I can't do that because I'm not fearless like them. But it doesn't take being fearless. Fear is actually the driving mechanism to most everything that people would look at as a success. You know, any accomplishment. A lot of it's fear driven. It's the bravery that's the concoction that you add to it. That with the fear, with the bravery, something in your mind changes because you overcame that fear, and that bravery will set you into a new place. So I say all that to say there's not one thing to do or to try or to try to understand. It's just be brave in your curiosity. Be brave in the things that you try, the things that you want to experience, and be open to new things. And all that just comes from being brave and not afraid that if I look at something new, I'm going to explode or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or that it's going to challenge me so much that I need to insulate myself from it.
Yeah.
Or block it from my
bravery is fear is crippling. You know, like luckily this is another thing for me too, is I feel like I was given the tools to move through fearful and dark situations with bravery because of something subconsciously that happened to me when I was younger. I don't know what it is, but that's part of that darkness that's like, oh, it's in my DNA. Like I can go, like I be finding myself in the craziest situations being just feeling protected. Like full, just radiating light, like seeing demons around me. You know what I mean? Just seeing eye contact with the demons around me and just protected, you know, just completely protected because the fear is what does the crippling. It's never what you're in fear of.
Ooh.
You know?
Right.
The fear is what does the crippling.
Because the fear is a part of you versus what you're afraid of is
the fear is what gets you to not move.
Outside. Yeah, right.
The fear is what gets you to not go, as opposed to I'm gonna go anyways. I'm gonna do anyways. You know?
I was working with this or chatting with this guy that did medicine work.
Okay.
We never really went too deep, but at one point he did ask me a question, and he said, in the kingdom most high, what is the one thing that does not exist? And it didn't take me long. I was like, fear. And he's like, yeah, whoa. And it really always resonated with me because I remember being in this yoga class back when I very first met my wife. And the yoga instructor is, while we're holding the position, he's saying, only love is real. Only love is real. And while it resonated with me as being a very beautiful concept, I didn't necessarily understand the wisdom in it yet because how could only love be real? There's a wide range of these other emotions. But then when I started looking at the principles of Hermeticism, once again, the teachings of Thoth, and all is one, one is all. Well, then I go, whoa. Well,
it's all an aspect of love, a degree of it.
Yeah, and if I'm one with all, and then that means what I'm afraid of is actually a part of me, that the fear is the illusion. The fear may be a manifestation of my ego that's trying to, I don't know, protect me in some way, but maybe that's not for my highest good.
Right.
And so it really opened me up to like, whoa, what is there to fear if I'm one with all and all's one with me? then that fear is really just a trick. It's the matrix. And love and being open to receiving and respecting everything as myself then becomes the unplug.
Exactly.
It's a beautifully liberating place to be. But once again, I always wonder, how do you encourage someone who maybe is still fearful to let go of that?
Right.
Because there may be a place like in Ghost, how I end that song, I'm just a victim. You say the words are what color and shape, reality. When I wrote those words, I really meant it, because I saw myself as a victim. Well, what did that manifest as? Well, I was a victim in a hood, a victimhood, and everything then was filtered through that lens. But when I began to realize that these things that I was allowing to have, possession over me or control that I was afraid of, that they weren't really, and that I was giving that power away.
Right.
Oh, how everything changed. But I still love that lyric because it was so true, and it goes to the whole concept of like, well, what do you believe that you're actually getting empowerment from that may actually be containing you?
Right.
So I see that as victimhood. It's because victimhood can be very empowering.
Right.
When I very first initially was taken advantage of and I lost my eye, I felt so righteous.
Right.
But at the same time, I was suffering. And at a certain point, the suffering becomes so ingrained as a part of who we are and our identity that how could I let go of that? Anything that challenges me to not be a victim would be a threat to my identity.
Man, that's big. That's big. And there's a lot of people walking around with that. A lot.
I saw it a lot in 2020, man.
Yeah, and unaware. Just completely unaware.
But then I think it's up to the content creators who are reaching out and through entertainment, through the films that they direct or the music that they make or the interchange of the two, that then there's that potential to maybe for somebody that's listening or engaging with that to go, oh.
Right. I know that the way that I feel the most comfortable doing things that I'm not fully comfortable with is finding out that other people feel the same. Like that's literally like once I find out that I'm not tripping by feeling that way, then it's like, okay, like then it's not like it's really not that big of a deal anyways. You know what I mean? Like this is just how people feel. It's natural. It's so unnatural but it's natural in what we've been brought into.